Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Tourism and Hospitality Service Management, SOTHSM, Master of Tourism and Travel Management, MTTM. Semester 1. MTTM 3 Managing Personnel in Tourism. Unit 1 Functions and Operations of a Personnel Office. 1.0 Objectives. After reading this unit, you will be able to Times explain what personnel management is. Times describe the characteristics of personnel management. Times identify the objectives of personnel management and the various prerequisites for the fulfillment of objectives. Times list various functions and operations of personnel management. Times understand how a personnel office is organized. Times realize the various roles played by a personnel manager and the qualities of a successful personnel manager, and Times understand the position of a personnel department in the organization. 1.1 Introduction. An organization is formed for the fulfillment of certain objectives like earning a desired rate of profit on investment, exploitation of certain natural resources, development of a given geographical area, and supplying to the public some essential goods or services. Machines, materials, money, and all other natural resources are the tools and aids that humans use to achieve their tasks. Thus, a proper selection of personnel, their tactful handling, and proper management is the essence of good overall management of an organization. However, this is the most difficult of all the management tasks in an organization. Some people also say that management means managing men tactfully. Yet many organizations hardly pay any attention in this area, though they always keep complaining about not getting the properly trained employees. This is equally true in the case of tourism organizations. Most of the firms are small-sized firms with family members holding top executive positions. One often comes into contact with the personnel department of organizations, for example, for selection, placement, training, discipline, grievance handling, wage administration, dismissal, etc. However, there are certain aspects of the work of a personnel department which may not be very obvious. In this unit, an attempt has been made to familiarize you with various issues related to personnel management. 1.2 Characteristics and Objectives of Personnel Management. Personnel management is known by various names. These are personnel administration, labor management, industrial relations, employee relations, manpower management, etc. Irrespective of the size of the organization, these functions exist in every firm, and tourism firms are no exception. The manager who performs this function is also, likewise, called by various names like personnel manager, employee relations manager, industrial relations manager, labor relations manager, labor officer, labor welfare officer, personnel officer, employee relations officer, and industrial relations officer. The following are the basic facts and characteristics of personnel management. 1. It is concerned with employees. Personnel management is concerned with employees, both as individuals and also as a group. Personnel management is a function or activity aiding and directing employees in maximizing their personal contribution and satisfaction in employment, bringing them an equitable, just and humane treatment and adequate security from employment. 2. It covers all levels of personnel. It refers not only to labor or what you may call blue-collared employees like craftsmen, foremen, operatives, waiters and drivers, etc., but also the white-collared employees like professional and technical workers, managers, officials, clerical workers, sales workers, guides, escorts, etc. 3. The concern for the employees is to help them. The employees are helped to develop their potentialities and capacities to the full so that they can derive the greatest satisfaction from their work. 4. It is inherent in all organizations. It is as useful and effective in government departments and non-profit organizations as in a business organization. Moreover, it covers all types of functional management such as production management, financial management, marketing management, etc. 5. It is of a continuous nature. Personnel management requires constant alertness and awareness of human relations and their importance in everyday operations. 6. It attempts at getting the willing cooperation of the people for the attainment of the desired goals. This is necessary because work cannot be effectively performed in isolation without the promotion and development of an esprit de corps. The objectives of personnel management are given below. 1. To achieve an effective utilization of human resources for the achievement of organization goals. 2. To establish and maintain an adequate organizational structure and a desirable working relationship among all the members of an organization by dividing the organizational tasks into functions, positions, jobs, and by defining the responsibility, accountability, authority for each job and its relation with other jobs personnel in the organization. 3. To secure the integration of the individuals and groups with the organization by reconciling individual group goals with those of an organization in such a manner that the employees feel a sense of involvement, commitment, and loyalty towards it. The absence of this integration will allow development of frictions, personal jealousies and rivalries, prejudices, personnel conflicts, cliques, factions, favoritism, and nepotism. These will produce inefficiency and result in failure of the organization. 4. To generate maximum development of individuals' groups within an organization by providing opportunities for advancement to employees through training and on-the-job education or by offering transfers or by providing retraining facilities. 5. To recognize and satisfy individual needs and group goals by offering an adequate and equitable remuneration, economic and social security in the form of monetary compensation, and protection against such hazards of life as illness, old age, disability, death, unemployment, etc. With adequate compensation and security, employees work willingly and cooperate to achieve an organization's goals. 6. To maintain high morale and better human relations inside an organization by sustaining and improving the conditions so that employees may stick to their jobs for a longer period. Considering these objectives, you will perhaps agree that the objectives are in the best interests of all those to whom management is responsible, i.e., owners of enterprise, the community, the consumers of its goods and services, and members of the organization itself, including groups who may belong to unions. For enabling the personnel manager to fulfill these objectives, the top management has to create some conditions as the prerequisites. These are described below. 1. Existence of capable people in the organization picked up on the basis of their merits and not on other considerations. If people are selected on other considerations, they will be misfits, creating all sorts of problems for the organization and other employees. 2. Plans for effective utilization of efforts and potentialities of individuals and groups for appreciation of work well done and for future advancement and training. If people are left On their own, nothing will be achieved. They have to be provided with necessary opportunities and means, and given encouragement. 3. Considering employees as co-workers rather than as subordinates. If this is not done, employees will not consider it their responsibility or duty to fulfill the objectives of the organization. 4. A proper division of tasks of an organization in accordance with a sound plan into functions and positions, each indicating a clear-cut authority, responsibility and duties as also relationship of one position with another. In the absence of such a division, chaotic conditions will prevail and no work will be done properly or even done at all. 5. The presence of clearly defined and comprehensive objectives and proper communication to all concerned. If objectives are not clear and if people who are expected to work for achieving these do not know about these, they cannot be expected to achieve them. 6. The formulation of objectives in consultation with senior persons in the organization and common understanding among managers at all levels of the objectives. If the senior staff or personnel have not participated in the formulation of objectives, they may not feel any real responsibility for achieving these. If managers at any level do not understand the objectives, they will not know why they are doing a given work, what is expected of them, and as a result may not even do it properly. 1.3 Functions and operations of personnel management. Personnel functions are generally divided into two categories, i.e., managerial and operational. In fact, these are two levels at which each function is to be performed. Each function is part of a management plan and has to be given practical shape at the operational level. This will be clear from Chart 1, which shows various functions classified under the broad functions of management, viz. Planning, organizing, staffing, motivating, controlling. It also gives objectives in relation to each, what may be called managerial function. Under each objective are given operations performed for achieving the objective concerned. Chart 1. Functions of personnel management. A. Planning manpower requirement. Function: anticipating vacancies. Objective: to anticipate and provide for future openings. Operations: 1. Anticipating deaths, dismissals, retirements, and resignations. 2. Anticipating future promotions. 3. Anticipating future transfers. 4. Estimating future vacancies from the above causes. 5. Estimating additional future positions. Function: recruitment. Objective: to seek and attract qualified applicants to fill vacancies. Operations: 1. Preparing job analysis. 2. Preparing job specifications. 3. Analyzing the sources of potential employees. 4. Attracting potential employees. B. Organizing the manpower resources. Function: organizational planning. Objective: to determine the organizational structure and manpower needed to effectively meet the company objectives. Operations: 1. Analyzing organizational structure. 2. Forecasting manpower requirements. 3. Recommending organizational changes. 4. Analyzing key position requirements. Function: selection. Objective: to analyze applicants' qualifications for determining their suitability. Operations: 1. Preparing questionnaires. 2. Weeding out undesirables through analysis or questionnaires. 3. Interviewing the applicants. 4. Testing the applicants psychologically, where necessary. 5. Investigating their references. 6. Arranging medical examination, if necessary. 7. Evaluating the applicants and making the final selection. Function, classification of employees. Objective, to assign officially each employee to an appropriate position clearly defined regarding its responsibilities. Operations, 1. Preparing the job descriptions. 2. Assigning of proper title to each position. 3. Reviewing periodically the correctness of job descriptions. C. Staffing. Function, induction. Objective, to ensure that new recruits are provided with appropriate training and information to enable them to perform their duties effectively. Operations, 1. Orienting new employees into their jobs. 2. Ascertaining training requirements of such employees to make them more competent for their jobs. 3. Providing facilities for their future education and development. Function, transfer and promotion. Objective, to provide for increasing the utilization of the employee's capabilities. Operations, 1. Continuously analyzing job descriptions. 2. Evaluating employee qualifications. 3. Determining training requirements. 4. Promotion according to employees' development. Function, manpower development. Objective, to provide for the individual employee's development. Operations, 1. Developing performance standards. 2. Appraising performance. 3. Planning individual development programs. Function, training. Objective, to arrange programs as required for developing existing personnel. Operations, 1. Planning and preparing training programs. 2. Providing training staff and faculty resources. 3. Conducting the training programs. 4. Evaluating the training results. D. Motivating. Function, rate determination. Objective, to set rupee values on job positions that are fair and equitable when compared with the other positions in the company as well as what prevails outside. Operations, 1. Analyzing jobs and giving job descriptions. 2. Evaluating such jobs. 3. Developing wage scales. Function, recreation. Objective, to provide facilities for employees' enjoyment of the job and make the company more attractive and satisfying as a workplace. Operations, 1. Conducting social activities. 2. Conducting recreational activities. 3. Providing recreational facilities for employees. Function, communications. Objective, to provide the needed exchange of information throughout the organization. Operations, 1. Developing channels and media for information presentation to employees. 2. Introducing and administering suggestion scheme. 3. Conducting opinion surveys. 4. Developing grievance redressal procedures. Function, collective bargaining. Objective, to build up rapport with officially recognized and legally established employee organizations in the best interests of both the company and its employees. Operations, 1. Negotiating agreements. 2. Interpreting and administering such agreements. Function, employee discipline. Objective, to develop effective work regulations and harmonious working relationships. Operations, 1. Establishing rules for conduct. 2. Administering disciplinary measures where necessary. Function, performance evaluation. Objective, to appraise objectively each employee's performance in relation to the duties and responsibilities assigned. Operations, 1. Developing performance evaluation. 2. Conducting performance evaluation interviews. 3. Analyzing performance evaluation results. Function, employee counseling. Objective, to help employees solve their personal problems. Operations, 1. Selecting and training counselors. 2. Arranging counseling interviews. 3. Assessing extent of help actually rendered. Function, safety. Objective, to develop facilities and procedures for prevention of on-the-job accidents. Operations 1. Establishing safety rules. 2. Investigating accidents. 3. Conducting safety inspections. 4. Preventing or eliminating hazards. Function medical services. Objective to prevent diseases and physical ailments as well as care for diseases, ailments, and injuries sustained by employees on the job. Operations 1. Developing and administering prevention programs. 2. Examining employees and job applicants. 3. Providing medical treatment. 4. Educating in health matters. Function protection and security. Objective to provide precautionary measures for safeguarding the company and its property from theft, fire, etc. Operations 1. Developing and administering security regulations. 2. Organizing fire-fighting services. 3. Providing guard or watchman service. Function personnel research. Objective to develop improved employee attitudes and conditions of work. Operations 1. Analyzing personnel problems. 2. Recommending improved practices. The chart above gives one way of classification of functions. Different experts of personnel management and institutions like the Indian Institute of Personnel Management have classified these functions differently. Some of the operations mentioned in the schedule are self-explanatory. A few of these may perhaps require further explanation, which is given below. Job analysis is the determination of the tasks which comprise the job and the skills, knowledge, abilities and responsibilities required of the worker for a successful performance and which differentiate one job from all others. Job description is a statement describing the job in such terms as its title, location, duties, working conditions and hazards. Job evaluation is the evaluation or rating of jobs to determine their position in the job hierarchy. It is a measure of demand a job makes on the worker as compared to other jobs. It is the quantitative measurement of relative job worth for the purpose of establishing consistent wage rate differentials by objective means. Job specification is a statement of the minimum acceptable human qualities necessary for the proper performance of a job. Standard is a measure of performance which management will like an employee to achieve with some degree of deliberate effort. Performance appraisal is a systematic evaluation of a worker's performance on a job in terms of its requirements and his or her potential for development. Grievance is any discontent or dissatisfaction brought to the notice of the management, whether exposed or not, whether valid or not, arising out of anything connected with the organization, which an employee thinks, believes or feels to be unfair, unjust or inequitable, the complaint about which has been ignored, overridden, or in the employee's opinion, dismissed without consideration and the employee thinks that an injustice has been done to him or her. 1.4 Organization of a personnel office. The first step in the organization of a personnel office is to list all the activities that are to be undertaken by it, looking not only to the present requirements of the organization but also to future requirements. It may be noticed that not all the personnel functions are equally important to all organizations at all times. Their relative importance would differ from each other depending upon various factors. Some of these factors are the size, the nature, its social, economic, cultural, political and legal environment, the mental makeup of personnel officers, and the overall philosophy of business. The less important of these factors may be suitably combined with the closely related important ones. The activities should then be grouped function-wise and put under the concerned functions. a group of related functions should be put under a particular section and the various sections under the personnel manager. Depending upon the number of sections and functions, the personnel manager can have one or more deputy managers or assistant managers. Much will depend upon the size of the organization, the management philosophy, and management appreciation of personnel functions. Personnel manager can also depute some persons to advise him or her. You will notice here that for some functions the personnel manager is helped by the deputy personnel manager, but for others by an assistant personnel manager or an officer. This depends on the relative amount of work in or importance of a function. 1.5 Personnel manager's role. A personnel manager plays a variety of roles in accordance with the need of the situation. These are given below. The conscience role. Under this role, the personnel manager reminds the management of their moral and ethical obligations towards employees. The counselor role. Under this role, he or she encourages the employees to meet him or her frequently for consultation and discussion of their mental, physical, and career problems, and at times even their family problems. The mediator role. Under this role, one tries to settle disputes between labor and management, as also those between an individual and a group. Here one is not only a peacemaker but also serves as a liaison person and a communicating link. The spokesperson role. Under this role, he or she works as a spokesperson for or as a representative of his or her organization. This one is able to do as one deals intimately with many key organizational activities and functions and has a better overall picture of one's company's operations. The problem solver's role. He or she is a problem solver in respect of issues involving human resource management and overall long-range organizational planning. The change agent role. He or she serves as a change agent in respect of introduction and the implementation of major institutional changes. 1.6 Position of personnel department in the organization. Production and marketing departments of a concern are the ones where the main activities of a business organization are concentrated. They produce and market things and services in which the organization deals. The finance department helps these departments by providing the required finance at the required time. The personnel department helps by providing the required type of people with required training, required attitudes, and the required fabric of interrelationships. The departments that provide the supportive services are called staff departments, while production and marketing departments are called the line departments. Line functions are those which have direct responsibility for accomplishing the objectives of the organization. Staff functions are elements of the organization that help the line functions to work most effectively in accomplishing the primary objective of the enterprise. The personnel department has staff relationship with other departments. It acts in an advisory capacity. The staff people should not behave as if they were experts and they only knew what was best for the line people. Such an overbearing attitude cannot induce cooperation or acceptance. If an attitude of patience is adopted and the right atmosphere created, the line manager will look forward to assistance, help, and advice from the personnel manager and his or her department. Many small firms ignore the roles of personnel department or carry them in an unprofessional manner. The service industry like tourism cannot afford to have a casual attitude in this regard. A dissatisfied or untrained employee will not be able to serve the tourists. 1.7 Summary. This unit has attempted to explain what personnel management is, what its scope is, and what its characteristics are. It has helped you to understand the various objectives of personnel management and the prerequisites for fulfillment of the objectives. It has given you a detailed idea of the functions and operations of personnel management. It has helped you to know the process of organization of a personnel office. You have come to know the various roles that a personnel manager has to play and what qualities are required for becoming a successful personnel manager. Lastly, it must have helped you to understand the position of personnel management in the organization. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.